We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
Hello. How's everybody out there doing? Today we are doing something different. We're going to do a YDBT Daily. But the only people that can comment are the members. What I was thinking of doing, these were on the wrong side and I was getting some crazy feedback. What I was thinking of doing is this. I want to give the people that actually pay a premium a perk. And the perk is you actually get to comment. What was happening before is on the regular chats, anybody that was able to just click on the channel, even if they weren't a subscriber, we're getting on and just flooding and spamming the chat. So I said, you know what? They can spam and flood the chat all they want as long as they pay a brother. So if you want to get on live, hate on a guy, do whatever, I don't care as long as you are paying to do so, because most of them wouldn't pay for a super chat. I guess I understand that. But they were just getting off scot-free, and I was losing the important people that actually pay a premium in the minutia, or the amount of crazy people that were just going on and doing crazy stuff. So I said, let me make it tight. And JD Swag actually said, hey, why don't you just make it members only chat? I said, that's a great idea. So I ended up doing that, and we'll see how it goes. And Sunday will be peasant chat. Sunday will be a free-for-all. You name it, whatever the hell you want to happen will happen. Anybody can comment, non-subscribers, whatever. But not only do you have to subscribe to the channel to chat, you actually have to be a member. And before we do anything like that, or talk any more shit, or start talking about the shitty F-150 Lightning, we're going to thank the sponsors that make the show possible, along with you guys. PMAS, Nick James up in Michigan, freezing his ass off. Rami Zaidan, 2 Auto Solutions in Puerto Rico, the best modern performance domestic shop there is in Puerto Rico, period. Parts Farm, thepartsfarm.com. Oh my God, cookies and Calimer transmission. Thepartsfarm.com just placed a big order at Power by the Hour for some engine swap harnesses. You know, I wish I could get in on that, but I don't know how to make it work. And, he asked me today, which was really nice of Rob, who owns the Parts Farm, said, bro, can I just order through you and you get some kind of commission? I go, no, but I appreciate you asking. So just go to Power by the Hour direct and you should be good to go. So thank you, Calamers, oh my God, Parts Farm, 2 Auto, and PMAS. We'll say hi to the people and we'll get after it. And again, everyone on the chat is a member. We got George Figueroa, Gallo Bravo again, Paul Panthew, Mendoza's Coyote, Paul again, Harley Taquachemo, do you think 21, Mendoza's Coyote, again, JD Swag, Paul again, Diego, 94 GT Vert, back Tacoma, Douche did it, Heath 2SR, DNG Brandon, what's up, brother, Jason Philfez and Jason again, Nitrous and Bias Plies, Token 650, Diego, Rami Zaidan is a member, oh, I love it. He says, what's up, Turvy Nation? The Wolf, 11-second Eclipse, Nitrous and Bias Plies again, Ian Oz, Harley Taquache, JD again, Ignacio Ramirez, Token, Alex Vallejo, Mike Jones, who? Donnie DeVille, Jason Ventimiglia, Ignacio Ramirez, Donkey Mac, Darren Harper, Rich 50, Second Shift Racing, what's up, brother? Ignacio again, Izzy R, Ignacio again, more pubes, more boost, Eric, Slow Yodi, Gregory Uppage, Killa, Bopulus Michael, okay, Cito SVT, S550, Alfredo, Chody Song, Infamous, Hot Metal, Patrick, Bondo Bird, by the way, got the pulleys, thank you very much, Bondo Bird, for getting me the pulleys. I will be installing the Whipple back on the GT500, doing some logs on the street, then take it back to the dyno, and see if we can achieve 1100 horsepower with about 5 less pounds of boost. Targeting 25 pounds of boost, I think it'll take the 4-inch, actually the 3.75 is going to go on first. So we'll see what that can do. And if the 4-inch can make something, we'll monitor IATs. We'll see how it all goes. Good evening, Amory, says Bondo Bird. It says, what about Melissa? I don't know if she's a member. Is she here? I don't know if she's a member. I think she's a member. Andre, Ignacio, Harley, Admiral Peck, Jared, Donnie DeVille, Phil, Mendoza's Coyote, Admiral Peck. Yes, that's old news, man. That is old news. And everyone else, ZR Chaos. Okay, so let's talk about the F-150, and then we'll talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. So there was a YouTube video from the channel Hoovy's Garage. Okay, this is the channel right here. Oh, come on, display capture. Hoovy's Garage. So he found out that because he's in Kansas, if he turns on the heater on his F-150 Lightning, it cuts the battery life in half. I mean, I am so blown away. I am so blown away that this truck is such
Take that, Elon Musk.
a piece of junk. It's like an afterthought, you know, because it's an F-150. It's same F-150 chassis, and Ford just crowbarred electric stuff in it. And in my opinion, you have to create an electric vehicle from the ground up like Tesla does. Tesla does not go, well, we have a current vehicle on the market like the Lotus they used to have, and it used to be electric, and they got a 100-mile range. But it was a sporty, zippy electric car. But then they said, you know what? Why don't we build a ground up vehicle that is meant to be electric? And the whole thought process, no trans tunnel, nothing. It is just it's meant to be an electric vehicle. The architecture, the thought process, every single little thing about this vehicle is going to be electric. Ford didn't do that. Ford took an existing F-150 Lightning, created some stupid transaxle from some third-party company, threw a battery in it, put a frunk in it, and said, "It is, here you go, it is the most revolutionary thing on the planet." Meanwhile, if you're in anywhere that is under 40 degrees and you dare turn on the heat, your battery life will be cut back. Imagine you're towing, like Homeboy said, a Fox body or a lightweight anything trailer 30 miles away with the heat on, and you start the trip with a 200-mile range and you end the trip with a 39-mile or 40-mile range. Well, that's what happened to this guy. And he didn't even take anything in tow. He just went, let me just go around the block, take my kid to school, and we'll see what he says right here. Unfortunately, this kind of channel has a lot of commercials in it, but, you know, whatever, you know, I'm not going to hate on him too much. So let's listen in for a couple seconds so I don't get copyrighted, and we'll be done with that.
Or he called me up and said, hey, I thought something was wrong with this Lightning because the range was getting so bad, but it turns out it's because of the cold weather, and it is a widespread problem. He's seeing range about half of what he was seeing before, or maybe not quite half. And I thought, well, that's impossible. Yeah, it's cold outside, but it's not that cold. It's in the 30s, and you're not going to see that big of a range drop. But then I looked it up online, and sure enough, there are a lot of people complaining about the lack of range in the cold with these Ford Lightning pickup.
So let's go to the website that tells you about the, let me see, Ford Lightning cold battery, and I think it takes you to a website that gives you thoughts on maximizing your battery. Listen, this is from Ford, guys. From Ford. I guess they received enough complaints that people were like, hey, we're done with this piece of shit. I'm getting like no range on my shit. Can you do something about it? And they're like, sure, no problem. Follow these easy steps. Number 1, park your F-150 Lightning in a garage whenever possible. Oh. Number 2, keep your F-150 Lightning plugged when parked. Imagine telling somebody to constantly gas up your shit when you park it. 3, if planning a longer commute, precondition your vehicle using departure times to warm the battery when plugged in by using the Ford Pass app or your truck center screen. 4, if equipped, use the heated seats and steering wheel instead of the HVAC system. Oh my God, Ford. 5, when charging, turn off the heater if possible or lower the temperature. So if you're charging in your truck, you're gonna freeze for 6 months out of the year. 6, if your F-150 Lightning is covered with snow, brush off all the snow before driving, because if you have snow on your shit, it'll drag down the fucking truck and kill your range. 7, keep driving speeds moderate in cold temperatures as high speeds use more energy. And 8, ensure your tires are at the proper pressure.
Take that, Elon Musk.
Ford is the sorriest software stealing, piece of shit, dishonest, fuck you company I have probably ever seen. I'm sure GM has done some dumb shit. I'm sure Toyota has done some dumb shit. Oh my fucking God. Not only do you steal software and, you know, so you can design vehicles in the future, get sued and lose. You have the Mustang S650 is really an S550 reskinned with 2 laptops on the dash. And now your flagship vehicle, the F-150 Lightning, cuts the battery range in half when you use the heater. I am telling you, the people that paid $100,000 for this truck. This is worse than I'm going to say something controversial. I can't believe it. I can't believe I'm about to say this. A Godzilla-equipped truck is a better buy than the Ford Lightning. I said it. A Godzilla 7.3 powered truck is better than the Ford Lightning. You can tow more. You can go further. You can have the heat on and not have your gas mileage go from 12 to 6. What a piece of fucking shit. And I would love to hear anybody say some dumb shit like, well, at least they didn't take a bailout. Shut the fuck up. This company is sorry as fuck. And you guys wonder why I quit Ford. I told you about, 7-8 months ago? I said, they're doing everything wrong. And I guess I wasn't a Ford guy. I'm a Mustang guy. Luckily, the F150, the Gen 3 F150, has similar compression and power output than a Mustang engine. So it's basically a four-wheel drive Mustang. That's how I looked at it. But I wasn't buying the Edge, the Taurus, the F250, F350. I wasn't. This Lightning is the biggest hunk of shit. And I am blown away that more people aren't saying so. And this is why. I think Ford does a good job of the PR campaign. They go out there and they'll give you shit just to get your favorable review. Oh, don't worry. It's badass. Hey, don't give anyone north of Georgia an F-150. Why? Because if they turn on the heater and tow a truck, they're going to get 40-mile range. Imagine you buy a truck. Forget the whether it's battery, gas, or diesel. Let's just put it out there in layman's terms. Imagine you buy a truck and with the heat on and towing a 3,000-pound car and a 1,500-pound trailer, you get a 50-mile range. Tell me if you would ever buy that. Hello? Bueller? Anybody? Would you buy a truck that if you tow and turn the heater on, you get a 50 to 75-mile range? I towed my Fairmont from here to Lund Racing HQ, 3.5 hours away, in my F-150 full of E85, a 30% less dense fuel. I got there with a quarter tank remaining. That's right. 3.5 hours away, E85, towing the Fairmont, squatted as fuck. I got there with a quarter tank remaining. Went there, flashed the flex tune, put some 93 octane in it, and made it all the way back to my house from Lund Racing HQ with just under a half tank. Oh my effing God, what a shit show. So the reason I think Ford is going to fail, and this is the architecture. I get it. All trucks are going to have a frame. All trucks are going to have a bed. I get it. But all you have to do is look at their architecture versus, where is it? Is it here? There was a Tesla. No, come on. Where did I put it? Watch me end up like looking at prawn. There was a Tesla. Fuck me. Let me look it up because I had a nice little outline here of Tesla's layout. Let me see. Control Shift T maybe? Nope, that definitely isn't it. Good thing I didn't show you that. So Tesla layout. Images. Tesla layout. And it's the way the battery pack is laid out in the car that pretty much kind of tells you why Ford is going to fail at the EV game if their layout does not mimic what Tesla is doing. I get it. It's a truck with a frame. But there's a stark difference in the architecture of the vehicle than how Tesla has it. How many of you guys want to bet that the Cybertruck will be, forget the fact that it looks like shit. Hey, look, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not a fanboy. It looks like fucking dog shit. Hey, this is GM. the way they're doing it. So they're more on the ball with the architecture than Ford is, because Ford is taking an existing vehicle and thinking they can shove a battery in it and things are going to be fine. We'll talk about it, talk some shit, talk to the people. But I just want to get that off my chest that Ford is a sorry ass fucking company. They're fucking sorry as fuck.
Take that, Elon Musk.
Hatch says, Alex, my Gen 3 Coyote tuner shop in New Jersey. Oh, any Gen 3 tuner shop in New Jersey, PA, tri-state area you recommend? I'll pay, just quality work. Chuck C&D and Evo Evolution. Evolution Performance out of Pennsylvania and Chuck at C&D Auto Tech. Those are the people that are our dealers, and those are the people we trust and recommend, in my opinion. Even I'm not dumb enough to buy that. See, that's the smartest thing you said in a long time. He says, welcome, Tony. Tony's not here. Is Ford Lightning EV versus Maverick. Mike Murillo just posted a video of a 4,000 horsepower twin turbo Godzilla. Donnie DeVille, are you fucking retarded? Are you retarded? The car's name is Godzilla. It's a grudge car. It has like a 600 cubic inch twin turbo engine. Holy shit. Did you look at that engine and thought it was a Godzilla? Like, did you look at that engine and actually thought it was a Ford 7.3 Godzilla? Bro, go back and look at that fucking video 13 times if you have to. Turviate Motors can build a better truck than the Lightning hand welded frames. My stepfather recently had his mother pass away and he inherited a very nice lump of money. He could have bought anything cash, but decided on the Mach-E because Elon runs his mouth too much. Yeah, your stepfather is a fucking retard. He bought a Mach-E because Elon runs his mouth too much? Meanwhile, it's the best EV out there, period. Stop it. How in the world did Ford Maverick make top 5 most reliable trucks in the market 2022? It can't even tow an ice cooler. And again, the name of the game nowadays with manufacturers is not making cool vehicles. The name of the game now is making what can sell. Making what can sell. It's not making things that you think are cool and innovative and making the audience like your vehicle. They're reactionary. They're not proactive, they're reactive. So what happens is they go, well, the wind's going west, we should start heading No, make something that people are going to want. And that's why, no, it's not Mike Murillo's car. Jesus Christ, guys. Holy shit, stop. Just stop, please. Mike Murillo went to a track, saw a car. They call the car Godzilla. It has like a 600 cubic inch twin turbos, and the turbos are in the passenger seat. Stop. Please stop, guys. I may be wrong, but don't batteries hate it when you constantly plug and unplug them? Their recommendation is going to cut a lot of battery lives down by half if you plug in whenever you park. The problem is this. They're reacting. Ford does not put a vehicle... Look, you guys thought that Ford does reliability testing like ridiculous to vet a product. I can almost make the argument that they do the opposite. They do good enough. They make the product good enough. Because if you make something really, 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 really good, it lasts a long time. There is no return customer at that point. Let's say they make let's say they put out a Mustang with a forged rotating assembly, Billy Badass valves, cams, OPGs that don't explode when you hit the limiter, a T56 style transmission, 9-inch rear end, 1,800 horsepower axles, and $55,000. You probably don't ever have to buy another Mustang again. But no. They give you something that has axles made of glass, a transmission that has really bad shift forks, a motor that ticks after about a couple of years and a couple of oil changes. And you, instead of going, oh, this is stupid, I'm not going to support this company anymore. You go, well, let me trade it in for another one of these. That's how it works. Just curious, what's the battery consumption of the Tesla running a heater? Any channels has done to a test? You know it's not an issue because no one mentions it. And in my opinion, I think Tesla does a very smart thing. They probably draw the heat from the battery pack and cool the battery pack at the same time. You know what I mean? They're probably so innovative that they're like, well, we'll just draw some of the heat into the cabin, because the batteries do make heat eventually. And whatever heat is generated under the body via the battery pack. We might be able to use that for some heating, not a bunch of heating, but supplemental. I don't think Ford has anything like that because it's a framed vehicle, meaning the body is on top of a frame and the batteries are wherever the fuck. So they probably can't properly funnel any thermal heat from these batteries. I might be 100% wrong on this, but I'm just spitballing, talking shit. Ford is like government work bottom builder. What's up, What's up, Agent Orange? Ford has too many issues for them to have tried to put a quality product, just wanted to get the foot in the door. Exactly. Look at what happened with Dodge. At a time where people were building hybrid, at a time where people were building gas sipping style vehicles, they shoved a 426 in shit, or whatever the fuck it is. A Hemi with a blower, high 2 liter, low 3 liter blower, 800, 900 horsepower. And people were like, oh my God, it's a big gas guzzling piece of shit. Who's going to buy that? Everybody. Everybody. The Charger and Challenger collectively outsold Mustang 2-1. Like, and then some. So for the longest time, Mustang wasn't the top selling brand for front engine, rear drive. Forget sedan and coupe, front engine, rear drive V8. Now, Dodge disappeared. Now, one reason I think Dodge might be okay with their electric car performance game is because it looks like the Banshee, which looks gay as fuck and it's a concept vehicle, is a ground up vehicle. You know what I mean? It's not like they're taking an existing Challenger, finding a way of shoving a battery pack in it, and then saying, look, we have an electric version of our piece of shit. Just like Ford did with their Lightning. They took the best-selling vehicle in America, the Ford F-150, and shoved a battery pack in it and tried to sell it as the future. It is so freaking retarded. It's not even funny. Your video from last night was spot on. Cars in today's market are like iPhones or smartphones. They let you lease the phone for monthly payments, make them cheap, and expect you to trade up. Correct. This phone, a smartphone in general, this phone is a Galaxy S21, I think. And, you know, it was like $1,400. Okay? It's great. I love it. It's wonderful. It's paid off. I paid it off early because I wasn't about to have that stupid bill. But what's going to happen in about a year? The software is going to slow down. It's not going to run so great. I'm sure there's going to be glitches. And Samsung goes, shit, we got to get this guy off this phone. He's had it for years. Let's start glitching it up. Let's start doing some dumb shit. Let's just release a new update that just happens to slow it down a little bit. And then introduce an S22, S23 with like a whole fucking bank of cameras on one end. Same thing with Mustang. We're not going to give you a Billy Badass motor. We're not going to give you a Billy Badass anything. We're going to give you something okay. Imagine you were a dumb son of a bitch that buys a limited version of the Ford F-150 Lightning, $100,000 truck. And then they come out with a base model that is ground up electric for $75,000. You should put the clown makeup on at that point because you thought you were virtue signaling everybody with your limited Lightning in pearl white, getting 40 miles in the cold while towing something and the heater on. Stop it. New Ford accessory, gas powered generators and trailers. What do you think about Ford stock over the last three months? Down 40% while Tesla is down 40%. Yeah, no, I get that. I 100% get that. We all understood that Tesla's stock was probably overvalued. They lost 40%, but at the same time, it wasn't such a, let's just say, it wasn't such a drastic hit to the company. So what you're going to see is you're going to see things like, see, Tesla's a tech company. It's not necessarily a car company. They're, you know, Optimus, Tesla semis being delivered. Watch what happens when Tesla semis are delivered and you start seeing them everywhere and it just glides down the road. And it has Frito-Lay, Budweiser, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, all these people, these companies just having predetermined routes, Publix, Walmart, all these predetermined routes. All of a sudden, you're going to start going, well, fuck, they're doing something right because they're everywhere. Watch, the bigger cities, especially in the West Coast, because that's where everything starts, are going to start seeing these Tesla trucks just glide in and out of parking lots, not make any noise, No nothing. It's just going to do its thing, zip in and out because it's really quick, get on the on-ramp really quick, and just be not a nuisance. And all of a sudden, you're going to start going, well, Tesla's doing something right. And even if their stock takes a hit, I don't think it's going to be as bad as if Ford takes a similar hit. If Ford took a 40% hit, you'd see them start having massive layoffs. You think the Model 3 and semi-release will make the stock skyrocket? No, I don't think. I think I'm not a stock market guy. I see these guys out there that think that they can just sit in front of a computer and trade stocks all day and become millionaires. You guys are on fucking crack. You got to go out there and get a job, produce something. Like, people that think that they're going to day trade their way into wealth are fucking retarded. You're not going to day trade anything into wealth. Those same people that think that they're going to day trade themselves into wealth are the same people that told me to buy NFTs and crypto. Fuck you. Get a job, become productive at something, and that is what your worth is. What is your worth? Whatever you can produce or sell. Just because you can day trade on other people's shit doesn't mean you're some kind of fucking genius. Fuck you. Get a job. I'm thinking about buying Tesla stock. I wouldn't. Honestly, I wouldn't. I don't understand why companies like GM and Ford haven't focused more on hybrid tech to lower price rather than jumping straight to full electric. Because the government is not pushing anything to do with hybrid. The government dictates everything. Who you vote for matters. The government is pushing electric for whatever reason. And they're just going to have their way. So if you want to make money and manufacture vehicles in the U.S., you better play fucking ball. Look, I understand you guys say stuff like, well, Tesla's not, carbon neutral. No, but the moment the car becomes mobile, after the mining, after all the materials, and the moment the car starts driving, it takes 1.5 years for that vehicle to become carbon neutral. Not necessarily in the way where I know you got to charge it and you got to have natural gas or nuclear. Nuclear is really important, and I think that's going to be our downfall. I think the government is really stupid by not allowing more nuclear power plants to be built. I know they think everything's going to be Chernobyl. I get it. But you want carbon neutrality for whatever reason, nuclear is the best option. Trading is straight gambling. I agree. Consistent saving and low overhead is the best way to make money. Hybrid actually makes sense, but no, I agree. Hard hat Eugene, I'm sorry. See, this is nice because this is the paid guys, so I can go back and get you. Channel support. If you could choose any vehicle with what you know now for a daily, fun, reliable, modability, would you still choose a Gen 2 Coyote? Absolutely not. You said the key word daily. The key word is daily. A Mustang, in my most humble of opinions, is a terrible daily. It's a terrible daily. In my opinion, it should be looked at as a toy, not a daily. Can you daily it? Absolutely. But let's be honest. If you're at least 5'9" and at least 180 pounds or 200 pounds, this is not a car that you can daily comfortably. Can you daily it? Sure. But you're saying daily, fun, reliable, modability. CTSV. It's moddable, choppity chop, comfortable. You can make them pretty fast. Before you start saying some crazy shit like you can make Mustang 7-second cars, you said daily. So a daily to me, like my white Mustang right now at 795 horsepower, is not a good daily. Because let's just say it had a fuel system in it. Well, now I got to live on E85. So a daily, I should be able to drive this car from Florida to California. I got to start looking for E85 stations all over the place. So lower the power, swap the pulley over, take the belt off, live at about 600. Then it's a decent daily. So we have to, be really specific because daily to me is something that is stone cold reliable. comfortable, quality, and Mustang just doesn't scream that. Even Gen 2s. To me, a Gen 2 Mustang is a wonderful toy that is an in between a weekend warrior and a daily. Something that you can take on a long trip, do a road race, and then drive it back. But I don't think it's something that I would daily ever. Alex, what gear do you start the 60 to 30 in the GT500? Heard it's bad on the sprag to downshift from second to first. If trying to do so, say 40 roll, I can launch in second, Mendoza's Coyote. So it's a second gear roll. Second gear to third. But let me paid. Thank you, says 82Z28. Hell yeah, members only. The same people that are too cheap to pay $5 for memberships are the same peasants that complain about your YouTube ads. Get paid for what you do. Thank you. Screw them. Brother, I love you. I love you very much. Matt, 2011, electric bill money. Exactly. I stopped using Mustang as a daily in 2008. If CTV3 were manual, I would have bought one. Yeah, I get that. The new one is manual, but that is that's a $100,000 car. That is a $100,000 car. I dated my Gen 2. I'm 6'1", 165, but it's stock as fuck. That's okay. Senior 6'3", Junior 6'6". Those guys drive. Well, Junior drives a truck, but Senior dailies a black, really nice. Like, it is a 401A package with a subwoofer, black GT. They call the money pit. Flex fuel sensors are powerful. I dated my manual GT all year, even in the winter, but it's stock. Hey, guys, I'm not saying it because I'm saying it's the wrong thing to do. I'm saying you're asking me, Alejandro Flores, with everything I know now, would I daily any Mustang? And the answer is no. The answer is no. The Genesis, remember the Genesis? That was great. That was great. That car was 420 horsepower. Probably a high 12-second, low 13-second car. The transmission was a slush box. It was shifted like shit. But I loved it. It was zippy enough. I can get in and out of situations. And I'm like, I could daily it. And I did daily it for a year. Slept in that motherfucker too. Told you about that. I am 6'1", and I daily my Gen 1. And I have Roush sheets, so they feel great. 6'6", what the fuck does that guy eat? Junior's a big motherfucker. Admiral Peck says, can you run down how the factory flex system for Ford work? I assume they don't have a sensor like GM. Correct. So Mustangs and F-150s, specifically F-150s, have adaptive octane logic. What that means is it sniffs the fuel. And if it feels it's on the sweeter side, it allows more timing. Well, it piggybacks off of that system to sense an inferred alcohol content. Again, inferred, meaning there's no direct measurement of ethanol affecting a computer and a transfer function based on ethanol percentage. It goes, it's about 80%. That's about 65. It's no different than smelling a fart and go, that was the Taco Bell. And then you fart again, you go, that was the Godiva chocolates. Similar. So that system, the adaptive octane logic and the inferred alcohol percentage, is used to guesstimate based on math alcohol percentage. If money wasn't a thing, the answer is always Plaid. You're 100% right. The Plaid is badass, but a V3, he said modability. You can't mod a Plaid unless you just get carbon doors. Okay, thanks. Just trying to be ready for Mexico Race My Turbo 400 is someone who wants a friendly roll. I could do that. Friendly rolls all day. But man, after seeing that video of that car in Dallas fucking crashing to the back of a car, fuck all that. Need a way to give you money directs? Screw YouTube Cut. Guys, I have a PayPal, I have Cash App, I have Venmo, but the reason I don't put it up there is because I don't want to seem like I'm asking you guys to give me money. And the problem with Venmo and Cash App is if you guys do donate, then I have to then chase a third-party thing, answer that question there. I appreciate it. I love you guys. I would post my Cash App. I would post that. But then I'm going to look like an OnlyFans chick asking you guys. Let YouTube take their cut. I get it. I appreciate it. But there are ways of checking out my PayPal if you want to do that. But I'm not going to give it away because, yes, don't get me wrong. Money is wonderful. But I'm also not going to sit here and beg you to send me shit on Cash App and Venmo. 6'2 Daily SINTC, aka two-door Camry hatchback, just like a coffin. Who's a company that could rival Tesla in the EV market if they tried? I would say Honda. God damn it, you're on the money. I would say Toyota. There is no better car out there right now in terms of quality, diversity in their lineup than Toyota. Toyota gives you a 3.5 liter, 400 horsepower truck right now. They used to give you a V8 truck. They have a little Corolla that's like a little hot hatch. They have the Camry. They have a bunch of vehicles that are like hybrids. They have it is the biggest auto manufacturer in the world, Toyota. I understand that. I'm saying all vehicles. And Toyota actually delayed going full EV because they felt that it's a different mindset with Toyota. They say that they don't want to alienate the people that can't afford an EV. And when the technology becomes viable, where you can make a $30,000 EV, then they'll get in the game. But I have no doubt someone like Toyota or Honda can dominate that market if they wanted to. But I think that the mindset of the company is we are for the people and for the vast majority of people, as opposed to what's hot right now. And I respect them for it. Don't get me wrong. I think eventually everyone's going to go EV. But I respected the fact that Toyota delayed going full on EV balls deep because they felt like they would alienate the customers out there. That was very good. I really respect the shit out of that company. Edison Motors is building electric semis. They're building them right diesel generators powering electric motors. Okay. Toyota will absolutely blow Tesla out of the water when they release an electric car. I don't know about blow out of the water, but I think they would be an absolute viable candidate. I am not stupid. I'm not a Ford fanboy. I am not dumb. I know what Honda can do. I know what Toyota can do. They're extremely powerful companies. And when one of them wants to take anything serious, you have to start looking at them like, oh my God, Ford is sorry as shit. Alex gonna make an OnlyFans for his calves. All you weirdos that comment on them. You know what's funny? I finally had a guy at the gym comment on my calves, and it was weird because I'm sure they look but don't say nothing. But I have genetically gifted calves. I'm not gonna lie to you. When I was a kid, I had skinny calves. Then I played a lot of baseball, a lot of football. Then I got into the gym, like in my teens and my early 20s, and then I became super consistent in my 30s and up, like almost every day. And my legs just grew. They just grew on their own. Just genetically gifted that way. And some guy, I was on the calf machine a couple days ago. He goes, "You must be on this thing all the time." I go, 2-3 times a week, and he's like, "No," but it was odd to get a compliment on my calves from a guy. But that's how it is in the gym. See, women think that we go to the gym to impress women. No, we go to the gym to impress dudes. That's how it is. It's gay. 7 months of Alex convincing me to trade my car for a Gen 2 Coyote. Look. This is why because I don't want to give you guys conflicting information. A lot of you guys take what I say as law. And I really appreciate that. And I try to earn that kind of respect, right? I want to earn your trust. Everything that I know right now, if I wanted to build a car right now to go 9s or 8s, it would be a Gen 2 Coyote. Period. Stock motor, built 6R80, axles, drive shaft, and whatever power adder of my choice in E85. If this channel was ridiculously big, I'm saying 1 million plus subs, and I can just buy vehicles and write them off and this and that, I would actually show you that as a build process, which I'm doing with the ZR1. I think what needs to happen with the ZR1 right now is it needs to go to the track before I put the headers on. You know what I mean? I need to go to a track with sticky rubber because it won't hook in first gear. And go to a track instead of giving you this draggy bullshit. And see if I could bust off a 10. I think it's got a 10 in it right now. Like a 1090 or 1080, which is blazing fast for a pulleyed tuned car on pump gas. I'll put race gas in it for safety, but the timing won't be any higher than 19 degrees or 20 degrees. So do that. Then put the headers on, then put the cap back on, go back to the track. Obviously, after the dyno, you'll see the difference in everything. But that is a progression, excuse me, that is a progression build. I ordered the headers and I ordered the cap back. And before I put those on, I want to go to the track. But the problem is it's 2.5 hours away. So it's a problem because I don't have time. But anyway, if I had a channel that was popping, and room and a garage and a house, I would get a Gen 2 Mustang, bone stock, and I wouldn't do a progression build because that would be silly. I would get right after it. My goal, what is the recipe for an 8-second Mustang? Buy all the parts, lay them out, put them on, run for 8s. Because 9s are easy. 9s are easy. You can do it with an ESS, Vortec, Pro Charger, anything. But 8s are a little more difficult. And I think that is more impressive. 8s are the new 9s. 7s are the new 8s. I get it. But 8s is still blazing fast. Channel support. And I'm an LS guy. Thank you, the Green RCSB. I appreciate you very much, man. This, for whatever reason, this members only chat seems to be way more poppin', better than a bunch of bullshit. You guys seem to know some stuff. And you'll see that it'll tighten up the chats going forward instead of having idiots go in there. And if you want to be an idiot, no problem. Just pay for a membership. Yes, the Truth Quarter. Yeah, the Corvette. I love the draggy stuff, but I need to get to a track. I need to stop getting out there and potentially getting in trouble. What if you're trying to go low 6s? The fuck is he talking about? Admiral, I love you, and you're a member. What the fuck are you talking about? A Fox body. Low 6s. Do you know how fast low 6s are? Like, Jason, yes. This is going to be permanent except for the peasant chat. The peasant chat on Sunday. All the people that couldn't talk. All the people that couldn't do anything. All the people that hate on me. You can do that for free Sunday morning. But every single other chat will be members only commenting. Nobody else. So let me ask you a question, Admiral Peck. What do you think a low 6-second car looks like? Yeah, it's literally a pro mod. A low 6-second car is a pro mod. So it's not even a car anymore. It's a body on a tube chassis. Admiral means 0 to 60 low 6s. I hope so. Like this format way better, prevents the Cletus fanboys from coming in. No, if the Cletus fanboys want to come in, all good. Pay me a membership. You can say whatever the fuck you want. Even 9s will be scary. People see all this junk online and think that's something to scoff at. 9s is fast. Alex, what's the smallest pulley size you would suggest on a Gen 5 Whipple staying 6 rib before into belt slip? Anything under, I think, 3.2 Grip Tech, because you might be able to get away with a Grip Tech pulley. So yeah, Grip Tech have that little knurling and that little coating on it, that and then get a green belt, get a Gates green belt like this one. Yeah, I forgot that on the other video I released the other day, I told you guys that I had a 105 millimeter pulley. Well, I forgot I have a 100 millimeter pulley also that Brevin sent me. So once I get a fuel system, you damn Skippy, I'm going to put this guy on. But you're going to want to get a Gates belt. Okay, so the best thing you want to do is get a Gates belt that's green like this, a HD. See the designation at the end here? An HD. This is the size for an ESS 6 rib 100 millimeter pulley on a Gen 3 Mustang. This is the belt size, and the great thing about ESS is they actually put it on the actual package so you know what belt goes with what. That's the best thing about this company, is how meticulous they are with their stuff. Just insanely tight. And I'm really happy. Like everywhere I go with that car, boy, that thing sounds amazing. So if you're going to get an ESS, get them loud gears. People love that shit. Admiral Peck says, no, I meant quarter. Let's try again. With mid-7s, and you can do a 10 mule cruise. 10 mule cruise. Well, mile. Do you know how fast mid-7s are? See, I don't think he understands what a mid 7-second car looks like. I think he's just scoffing at a blazingly fast car. Look at Cletus's go-kart. Isn't that like a 7.3, 7.4 car? When his El Camino was doing race week stuff, it was in the low to mid sevens most of the passes. So you're commenting on cars that I don't think you understand. If you want to be realistic, we say high eights here. Realistic numbers, high eight. What high 8-second car can I drive to and from the track, run an 8, and come back? A Gen 2 Mustang. Gen 2 Mustang. Look at Corey Grayley. Corey Grayley's a perfect example. Roush 2.3 or turbos. Since I like the S197 and can't get an ESS on a 302, of course, I would do a TVS on a Boss 302. I'm not a turbo guy. Once you go turbo, ask Dakota. Once you go turbo, daily goes bye-bye. Now, why is that? Because the turbo kits that are out there are not OEM. The turbo kits that are out there are not OEM design. Have you guys seen what OEM style turbos look like, or turbo kits or manifolds or hot sides and cold sides? They're huge, robust, heavy as shit. When you get turbos, you now make your car not dailyable. Will it drive to the track, make a couple of runs, and come back? Sure. But you won't be able to have the reliability an OEM style build is like a Roush TVS. If you were going to ask me, Alex, I want to daily my car. Supercharger. Every single OEM uses some kind of supercharger, and not a centrifugal one at that, for reliability. It's just a more robust build. So I would absolutely opt for a Roush blower over any turbo car. Gen 1 Paxton with an 18 intake and oil pump gears. What's the smallest pulley you can run with the 85? What clutch do you recommend for a T56? Thanks for everything. So, the RXT is a grabby motherfucker, but it works for racing applications. It's very grabby, meant for a dump truck. I like Mantic clutches. I like the Mantic Dual. The Mantic Dual to me is a great clutch. If you're going to get a Gen 1 car, I wouldn't go under a 3.6 pulley, because a 3.6 pulley can generate 700 rear wheel horsepower on E85. And you'll need 410s or 430s with a T56 and a centrifugal, guaranteed. Hey Alex, I love your content. I got a 13 Accord Coupe V6. It's full bolt-on, gutted, made 320 wheel and 2950 pounds. What Gen 5.0 I could hold up with? So 320 wheel and 2950 pounds? Boy, you probably could beat most Gen 1 and Gen 2s. Gen 3 is a tough one because they have more compression, they have better cams, better heads, and the 10R80s have a really good tight gear ratio shift to shift. So it's going to be difficult to beat like a 10R80 car with your mods, but I think you could take care of a stock Gen 1, Gen 2, no problem. They're barely 12-second cars. Like a stock 1, Gen 2, stock Gen 1 or Gen 2, it's barely a 12-second car. Hardhat Eugene says more channel support. Why do Coyotes not rely on meth as much in boosted applications as LS builds? Seems like all boosted LS cars are running meth. So I think with the type of boost that LS cars are known to have, right? What is the most common style of boost that LS cars have? Go. What is the most common power adder LS style cars use? Go. Man, Alex, I got an RST in my car and I hate the way it grabs and it's noisy as fuck. Mantic is better for the street strip. Absolutely. Members only sweet. Can I get a members only jacket? Thanks, Alex and JD Swag. The black car was one of my favorite builds. So most LS guys use a no. See, you're thinking broke boy shit. Turbo guys don't use meth that much. It's, again, you're all wrong. Like every single one of you are wrong. Who do you hear using meth all the time? CTSV, Corvette, and Camaro. You're telling me that a CTSV, Corvette, and Camaro use turbos? I didn't say LS swapped guys. I didn't say LS swap guys. It's either centrifugal or positive displacement. CTSV 1.9 blower, ZL1, ZR1, ProCharge Z06. So it is mostly a positive displacement or centrifugal. What is the biggest issue with stock style Roots, twin screw, or TVS style blowers? IAT. And I'm experiencing that with the Corvette. IATs are high. So what is the best way to remedy IAT if you're going to stay on pump gas, or if you don't want to stay on pump gas, but what's the best way of remedying IAT? And you just happen to have a cooling effect. Meth. Meth is an octane adder and a cooling, a chemical aftercooler, let's just say. So the IAT issue is cured with, or helped with, meth, and it just happens to have a little more octane and you can make more power with it. So you see a lot of guys with 93 octane and a tank of meth, which I'm probably going to have to do on the Corvette after talking to Rami. He goes, bro, if I were you, I'd go pump gas, meth, boost it to wherever you want to boost it, keep timing moderate, it'll make good power. And you got to get an Edelbrock heat exchanger. So with Coyotes, we have the absolute, we are spoiled with Coyote. The reason Coyotes don't use meth is IATs aren't that big of an issue. A Vortec does not have high IAT up until the point they use a 3.3 pulley. A TVS, you saw it on my GT500, it went up 3 degrees during the pull at 20 PSI. Started at 120, ended at 122. Centrifugals don't have IAT issues. TVSs don't have IAT issues. The Edelbrock TVS doesn't have IAT issue. The Whipple is probably the better one of all of them. The Whipple top mount upside down blower where the intercooler's on top. The intercooler bricks are so good. The heat exchanger is so efficient. The pump pumps so much fluid so fast that IATs are not an issue. So a lot of the guys go, why don't you guys use meth? Well, why should we? We're on E85 and my IATs are 100. Really? Yeah. Well, mine are 140 if I don't use meth. Well, you have a really inefficient intercooler system or design. And in my opinion, that's the biggest issue with LS guys. They live with high IATs, so they remedy it with a chemical aftercooler or an icebox or a killer chiller. GT500s don't. Mustangs don't. Pro Chargers, centrifugal, those actually Pro Chargers do have high IAT. I'm not gonna lie. One of the biggest issues with Pro Chargers on centrifugal Mustangs, or Pro Chargers on Mustang, is they have higher IAT than their Vortec and ESS and Paxton counterpart. Don't forget to put ice in the air filter box, right? A lot of people not wanting run intercooler, run meth on sleeper cars, right? My dad's C7Z has a bad heat soak. Take the hood off. So meth gives you more horsepower and has a cooling effect? Correct. Meth gives you a slight, we have a meth nozzle in the Grey Goose because the IATs get up there even with ice. Even with ice. And it's not because we want, it's a problem. See, we don't use meth in the Grey Goose because we have IAT issues. We just want to keep it under 110 all the time. You know what I mean? The cooler the intake air temp, the more horsepower you make. Plain and simple, there's no other way about it. Wonder if LS guys have crank snapping issues like the Coyote guys, or is the kit better? No, I don't know. That's a good one. I think Street Speed one time said instead of filling his meth tank with meth, he put gas in it. Stop it. He didn't do that, did he? Since meth is on the mind. Like, okay, guys, let's think about it. Let critical thinking time. Why do Roots blowers on carbureted cars not have intercoolers? Let's go. Why do Roots blowers like an 871 or a 671 don't have intercoolers? What's it doing, Ignacio? What's the gas doing? Aha! Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Ah, yes. I love this chat, bro. I love this chat. God damn it, I love you motherfuckers. The fuel cools, goes through the rotor, into the combustion. No intercooler. No intercooler. The fuel goes right through the fucking rotors. You could probably put your fucking hand on that shit depending on the fuel you're running. The fuel cools the intake air temp. Maybe falsely, but whatever. And if you run meth, oh my God, you could probably, it'll condensate. It will condensate if you run meth. So, I always thought, I'm like, wait a minute, why doesn't it? And don't you think that got my mind fucking going? I went, So, seriously, this chat is legit as fuck. No intercooler on carbureted twin screw applications because the fuel literally cools it down. So what do you think you're doing with meth when you're spraying it in there? Just chasing it into the manifold. Same thing. Same thing. Free cookies for everyone. Members coming in clutch. Guys, that's probably my best moment of the chat ever. I'm a dumbass. And I know some of you guys, no, you're not a dumb. I'm a dumbass. And the fact that you guys are right there in the pocket with something that is like old school and critical thinking and I'm just like, oh, I didn't even have to give you a hint. Why do carbureted blowers not have intercoolers underneath that bitch? Sheesh. But let's just say you did. Let's just say you did. It would even be better. It would be even better. I can't imagine if you run fuel through the rotors, throw an intercooler brick into the combustion, forcing it down in there. I think you'll have even better IATs. Crazy shit. So imagine methanol, carbureted, blown, coyote. Oh, man. You know why tuners don't do that? Because they don't understand it. You will not see any of the tuners that you know right now, any of them, not one motherfucker will do that. Because it requires them knowing how a fucking carburetor works. So would it be the same with the carb turbo blow-throughs? Well, yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're going to intercool it anyway. You're going to intercool it anyway. But you'll have a better shot of having a blow-through setup, have cooler air temp. Because look, whatever temperature the air is before the carburetor does matter. So if you have 200 degrees going through the carburetor, the atomization and the cooling effect of the fuel running through the manifold can only do so much. It feels like dad being proud of his kid. But it's beautiful. Like, it's one of the best fucking moments on the chat. What takes more drivers knowledge? Meth or nitrous kits? Nitrous kits by far. Nitrous kits. Nitrous kits. Temperature would go down. That would be interesting. Exactly, Hatch. Ice cold. Do the check clap for that, right? Back to quarter mile. Back quarter miles. Exactly. Back to back quarter miles. No problem. Blow-through needs an intercooler. Yeah, absolutely needs an intercooler. Because you don't want 250 degree air going right to the carburetor. You might cause other shit that shouldn't happen. That's also why mechanical injected cars didn't come from the factory. Almost always use meth rather than using race gas. Because they inject the port or close to don't get the same inherent cooling. I sent you the video on the Instagram with a timestamp of 10. Again, Instagram on here. It's just going to be a problem. You're probably on my requested list. I probably don't even know who the fuck you are. Giovanni? Minute 10.
Howdy guys, welcome to the channel.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ. He needs to slow the fuck down. So minute 10. Well, he said he sprayed gas? Really? I mean, I guess, but I mean, the theory is similar, right? But come on.
Last round of modifications. And meth injection basically is like, it's in that container, it's an alcohol, pretty much like an alcohol, it's methanol, which I don't know exactly like the
What?
chemical difference, but essentially you spray it into the intake to cool intake temps. You can be more aggressive with timing then, and the car will make a lot more power. You can make, 50, 60, 70 more horsepower.
Okay.
If you're running meth. Not only that, but when you're running meth, you don't have to run as much fuel either. So it's easier on the car and it's good to run. A lot of drag cars run meth, like just meth. So I have that can up there. Then in the back, I have cans of C85, which is ethanol. When you
So he mixed it. You said gas, not ethanol.
go to the gas station and get E85. A lot of times it's not actually E85. Now, sometimes if you get lucky, you might get E80 or 85.
Wow, I'm bored. Anyway, so you said gas. So I want to make sure that, I don't think he's wrong. Some people do spray E85 or a mix of C85. Like, I wouldn't. I would just run methanol or water meth mix, But okay. To go from Alex's informative chat to this trash is depressing. Could you imagine listening to that guy every day? Some people do. That guy's annoying. What? Alex, about the question I asked earlier, does the displacement in more cylinders account for the pump gas being used to make 1,000 horsepower or so? Yes. So JD Swag actually, goddamn it, I'm going to go over. Let me see what time it is. I want to spend time with my little lady. Okay, so let's be real quick. So the more meth you run, the more cracked out your engine will be. I mean, he put straight E85. I don't know why he did that. Now, I don't think he's going to hurt anything. It's just going to run super rich because the O2s trim fuel. But on modern ZR1s, I don't think they have wide bands. I think it's narrow band. And this is my problem with doing that. If you run ethanol through a nozzle in the throttle body, the fuel mixture is going to be on the rich side. So you have to then purposely lean the car out to have the proper targeted air fuel, say 11.2 to 11.7, depending on how lean or rich you want to get. And let's say for whatever reason you have an issue with the delivery of the meth, or you run out, or the ethanol, whatever. Now your commanded fueling might be 12.2. If you have an issue spraying the extra fuel in the, it's just, in my opinion, it's not a good way of doing it. So exactly. So Oscar, thanks for the answering. I pulled hard on a 16 with a Corsa exhaust and 680. So JD Swag asked me a pretty good question. So he goes, Alex, why does it take a Bugatti 8 liters, 16 cylinders, and 4 turbos to make the power our Coyote makes? And I go, well, he's not wrong for thinking that, but I said, real simple. The Bugatti makes 1,200 horsepower. So a 1,200 horsepower luxury all-wheel drive heavy car that runs its ass off on pump gas. No Mustang is doing that. No Mustang is doing that at all. So what they do is they're just going to give you a big, luxurious car and give you, like, the engine is not working that hard. You know what I mean, JD? So let's think about it this way. You have a big, massive motor pulling 5,000 pounds. Let's say you have a 500 cubic inch V8 pulling 5,000 pound trailer. Is that V8 working hard? No. But let's say the output of the 500 horsepower, the output of the 500 cubic inch V8 is 400 horsepower. It's just like chilling. Now, let's say you have a 5 liter, 302 cubic inch 400 horsepower motor. Is that one working harder than the 500 cubic inch 400 horse motor? Yes. So now you're stressing out components more because the displacement is a lot less and it has to work harder to tow those 5,000 pounds than the 500 cubic inch 400 horse motor does. It's just then the Coyotes stressing the fuck out trying to pull that weight. That's the best way I could do it. And Bugatti does it for a bunch of different reasons. First of all, it's fucking cool. It's weird. But that car is not stressing out. That car is literally not stressing out at all, making 11, 12, 1,300 horsepower. And it'll do it all day long. All day. A Coyote can do it for 7 or 8 seconds at a time, then it blows up. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you very much. This is the way to do it. This is the best perk I think I can give the members of this channel. You are the only ones that actually chat. You only members chat, and then anyone else who wants to chat, you have to become a member. Not only does that give me an incentive and a little extra money, but the people that are talking are paying a premium, and I have to pay more attention to them because it matters. And it takes all the bullshit off of it. It takes all the spam. Notice no spam showed up. No spam. And no Cletus fans. Because those guys are broke or they're saving up for the Pit Vipers and the Straw Hat. All right, guys, I'm going to be back on the Peasant Chat. That's right, Peasant Chat, Sunday morning, 9:30 a.m. We're going to talk to poor people. It'll be a fucking mess. But now that we know that this formula works, we will do members-only chats every other day except Peasant Chat Sunday. All right, guys, have a good rest of your week. Hopefully you guys, hang out. Everything goes good. Probably cold in your state right now, but right now it's 80 degrees in Florida, so I got a lot of shit to do. I'm going to do Whipple content. Going to put the 3.75 pulley back on the GT500 and the Whipple. But before that, I'm going to go see what I can do 60 to 130. With the fuel system fixed, I found a bad ground causing the FC3 controller to arc out. And the ground was redone. Going to go out there, do a watt, let off, see if that car stalls. Then if it doesn't, then we fix the issue. And then we'll see what I can do 60 to 130 on that car before I put the Whipple on with the 3.75 pulley on the dyno and see what kind of numbers we make. And then I'll have to do the belt shimmy where I have to put another belt on and a different pulley to test out the 4-inch belt and 4-inch pulley. And I think they gave me a 4.25 pulley also if I want to keep the Whipple on and cruise it, because this is the plan. Let's say the Whipple makes 1,100 at 5 less pounds of boost. It'll probably stay on the car if the IATs are manageable. Then I could take the TVS, send it to Greg, and say, port it to death. And now we know that it makes $997. I can put it back on and see if we can go how much more over 1,000 it can make back on the car. A lot of stuff going on, but might as well have that car make me a little money and get you guys some content. All right, guys, have a good rest of your night. I'll see you and the peasants on Sunday. See you later. Bye.